Welcome, Lee here from Play Guitar Academy with another Why They Work lick video. You are new at guitar and you want to play something that sounds great. Here is my present to you. 5 of the easiest rock licks ever. And they're all in the rock-approved key of E minor, using the E minor pentatonic scale. Very easy. But before we get started, to get the most out of these lessons, we need to start opening up the fretboard and play in more than just 1 or 2 patterns. Take a second, click the link in the description, and download my free Big 4 scale pattern worksheet, and you can start changing your guitar playing and feeling comfortable playing all over the fretboard. Okay, let's take a look at lick number 1. This is a pedal tone lick with a slide. What's a pedal tone? Pedal tone is when you have a note that repeats a lot. It could be along with another note. In this instance, the open E string is repeating over and over again, or it could be in between some notes. Either way, this recurring note adds a lot of atmosphere. It's a really cool sound. But let's take a look at this lick in particular. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing the open E string, and we're going to have another melody playing underneath it. The melody's going to be on the B string, and these notes are going to slide around a little bit. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our second finger, and we're starting on the 3rd fret, but slide up to the 5th fret. At the same time, we're going to pick down across the 2 strings. So we get both strings ringing, the open E and the fretted note on the B string. So we're going to start and slide up to the 5th fret and do 3, then up to the 8th fret, then up to the 10th fret, then back to the 3rd fret, and then up to the 5th fret. So all together. There's a lot of songs that use this style. Ain't Talking About Love from Van Halen is one. A lot of songs from U2, they'll use the same idea. And you can change it up like I did here and make it something totally yours, but it always sounds cool. And very easy. Lick number 2 is our single string pull-off. This is a classic easy lick. A hammer-on is when you put your finger down on a fret so hard that it causes that note to ring. And then a pull-off is when you take that same note and remove your finger from it. I like to go down to the floor. It's almost like you're plucking the note. And that causes the open string or a note behind it to ring. You could practice that just to get ready for this, but this is not very difficult at all. We're going to be using all pull-offs on this. So you can go ahead and I'm using my ring finger, but you could just as easily use your first finger. I'm going to put my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string, play that note, and then I'm going to pull off to the open string. And then I'm going to play the open string again. So it's a series of 3 things. Play the 3rd fret, pull off the open, and then play the open again. I'm doing a down stroke, pull off, and then an up stroke. And we're going to take that idea and go up throughout the patterns. This one is the front of pattern 1. We'll go to the next one, which is the 5th fret, which is the front of pattern 2. Same pattern. You pick the note, pull off, and then pick the open string. Now we're going to go up to the 7th fret, which is the top of the pattern 4. So we're going to the 10th fret. We're going to work our way up and then finally get to the 12th fret, the E, and let that one ring. So all together. The hardest part about this one is the pull off and getting that clean, not just removing your finger and having a dead note. This lick you hear a lot of people play. I think the best example of this lick is Prince playing this at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when he played with Tom Petty up there. This is a fantastic lick. It's a showy lick and it's easy to do and you'll sound great too. Here in lick number 3, we're going to be doing a G string bend on our pattern 1. This is a very classic blues lick. Comes straight from the blues, but we use it in rock music all of the time. We're going to go up here to pattern 1 for the E minor pentatonic. That's up at the 12th fret. We're going to start on the G string. I'm going to put my 3rd finger with my 2nd finger behind it on the G string at the 14th fret. And I'm going to bend that up a full step. So you want to match it. In this instance, it is the B note we're trying to bend up to. And then we play that B note again. If you take a look at the tablature, 12th fret, and then we have 12th fret on the high E string. So we have the 14 bend. So I like to put my finger across the 12th fret for the top two notes. And that repeats 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then we end on that 12th fret on the high E string, and I let it ring. Maybe even a little vibrato. The picking is the big deal about this lick. You can do it two ways. One is you could do down up picking. So down on the bend, up on the B, and down on the E. Or you could play it all downstroke. All downstroke sounds tougher. It sounds kind of meaner sounding, something in a heavier song. With alternating picking, sounds a little more precise. I will do both depending on the song and depending on what I need to do. So you might want to practice them both too. Lick number 4, we have another of the easiest rock licks ever. This is a D string trill. This is going to be back here at the 2nd fret. What's a trill? A trill is when you take two notes, you go back and forth with them really fast. You hear this a lot from Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, Robin Trower. It's fantastic. It perfectly communicates something cool. I don't know what it is, but I love it. Anytime I hear that in a song, I think it's awesome. This is what we're doing. Basically, if you take a look here, we're starting with the 2nd fret on the D string, and then we're pulling off. Remember our hammer-ons and pull-offs from before. But this time we're hammering back on that note, and we're going back and forth between that as fast as we can. This is the kind of thing that you start practicing slow. And muting is a big deal with this one. So if you're playing just the D string, you got to make sure that the A string and the G string around it don't accidentally get played. So if you see here, I've got my hand around that string, so it's touching the other strings. I'm actually touching all of the other strings with this hand, trying to make sure that no notes ring out that I don't want to hear. And it's a fantastic thing to do right after you play the lick we just learned. Now we've come to the end of our easy rock licks. Lick number 5, this is an open position pull off. Now this is from the blues too. We have our minor pentatonic scale in open position. 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-4. Everyone learns that pretty early on. And we're going to start with the highest note. That's going to be the 3rd fret on the high E string. And we're going to pull off to the open string. But we're not going to stay there. We're going to quickly move to the next string, to the B string. And we're going to do the same thing. 3rd fret, play that, and pull off to the open string. So now we're at the 2nd fret on the G string. This has a full bend. Then play the 2nd fret without bending. Then a pull off to the open string. And then finally to our root note on the 2nd fret of the D string. And a rake into this always sounds nice. Great lick to play, easy, adds a little bit of blues into your rock playing. Thanks for playing along today, and thanks to all of our Academy members over at PlayGuitarAcademy.com. They are tearing into the tab, backing tracks and guitar profiles from this lesson and all of my lessons right now. Don't forget to download my free Big 4 Scale Pattern Worksheet. It's going to make all this easier for you. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great practice. I'll see you in the next lick video.